We come in about 6 o'clock every day. The morning is a lot of preparing for the day. So whether we're making protein shakes to kind of have meal replacements if the guys have lost their appetites, we put out vitamins to make sure that they get enough nutrition in their day. So if they're missing a meal or two or serving of vegetables, it's a good safety net for them to have just in case something happens. How are you? Good. The morning also entails breakfast. So we kind of go in there, see how they're feeling. Are they able to eat today? Have they lost their appetite? Are they eating enough? Are they eating too much? So we kind of just touch base on that a little bit. Hydration, right stuff. As the guys are going to meetings, coming to special teams meetings or position group meetings, we try to realize, like, all right, who didn't eat enough breakfast? Who needs that extra fuel for that practice? And we kind of keep track of who's taking a snack or who's taking a hydration supplement. So we know the guys that are prone to heat exhaustion or they're prone to cramping. And that's the time that we really try to hone in and get that hydration supplement in them so that we prevent any cramping or heat exhaustion or heat illness prior to practice. Ready to go?
I stand.
Okay, all the guys go outside and then we kind of prepare for practice. Breaks are at 5 and 8. I get my students in line. We kind of go over the breaks, and because we each have a duty at break, they each have a position group that they kind of manage and kind of watch. We kind of manage that hydration and that fueling to make sure that they're not dropping out based off lack of energy or lack of hydration. Gummy? So each student carries around water and some gummies or some quick carbohydrate snacks to make sure that they're not hungry or falling out. Gummy Art?
At least having that off your mind is,
Salt.
That's a blessing to have her and our staff, working so hard, and they care so much about us and our bodies, and keeping us tip-top shape. It's a significant part of the team. They always have sugary snacks. They give us these little nutritious gummy things that give us sugar and energy during the practice, and we get them during breaks. We have popsicles, we get those during breaks. So, her and our staff are great.
The first break is just kind of like a cool down hydration break, and we're making sure that, again, pushing fluids, pushing the gummies to make sure that they are fueled and hydrated. It's a quick turnaround break, just kind of gives the guys a breather. The second one is a longer break, about 5 minutes, and what we're doing there is helping reduce the internal core temperature through popsicles. With the athletic training, they give out cold towels, they give out Powerade and water. Popsicle or gummy? We're going to go popsicles and gummies. So the popsicle is a cool treat, helps give their blood sugar a little boost, but also helps reduce their internal core temperature. Paper.
They help a ton. They're more eyes, they're more ears, they're more hands, certainly.
Okay, sit.
Definitely help decrease our heat illness problems.
Can you come help young Christmas with his cramp?
Full body cramping, things like that, when you just don't have enough guys getting the fluids that they need. Again, now more hands on deck, those things have gotten better.
Chug that and then chug a whole bunch of water. We carry around that hydration supplement, again, that salt packet. We'll give it to the athletic trainers, let the athletic trainers assess the severity of the cramp, and then we'll kind of help push electrolytes and fluids there, and then kind of take a mental note. We'll come back at the end of practice, like, all right, who threw up, who cramped, so that next day I can go back and be like, all right, here's what happened yesterday. How can we prevent this from happening again? At close to the end of practice, our last period, we kind of go set up the tables, and our tables consist of all different flavors of muscle milk, flavors of chocolate milk. We do have a tart cherry juice that helps recover, repair, and control inflammation. We do other hydration mechanisms, whether it's coconut water or Powerade.
Pineapple mango.
On 2-a-day, we did have a smoothie vendor from the community come in and bring smoothies, and that will help kind of give a special treat to, like, all right, maybe they're not going to take something because they're so tired.
Appreciate it.
But, oh, a smoothie's here, so I'll take a smoothie instead. An O-lineman could probably lose up to 8 or 9 pounds of water in one practice. Mango. We need to get all of that and maybe then some back into their bodies. Mango.
I could tell a big difference in the way we can practice. We can tempo practice a little bit better, and we can get a lot more out of the guys, I feel like. So, I think she's a real big part of it, and I like the changes.
Thank you. Welcome. We're just kind of making sure that everybody's status quo, comfortable, calm, and they're getting the nutrition that they need.